Hi, it's Elaine with MCPS Technology. Let's talk about how to bring in images, links, and text into your Google site. So your main insert menu is located under Logically Insert, which is in the upper part of your screen on the right. And you're going to see four areas: text box, images, embed, and from drive. Probably from this menu, the two that you will use the most are text box and images, although we are going to talk extensively about how you bring in things from Drive. You can also embed by URL or HTML coding into any of your pages. So for example, if I wanted to, I could embed my Twitter feed into the homepage of my course or any other page. It's very simple to begin bringing in text to your site. So if I simply click on text box, notice that a text box appears right under my header. And this creates a new section, and you can see a tiny menu over here on the left of the section. So notice I can do some things over here. I can change the background of this section, and the colors you get here will be dependent on the theme you've chosen. So I could, if I wanted to, make this section a different color. I can also duplicate the section, or I can delete the section if I realize, oops, that's not really what I want. So I have a text box here in this section, and I also have a menu that allows me to change some things there as well. I'm just going to say welcome to our class. And because I'm going to make a link, I'm going to put some additional text that will become a link. I'll say you may want to check out the MCPS homepage. Now, looking at my menu above this, I can leave this small. This is a little bit hard to read, so I'm going to choose heading instead. And notice that that makes my text larger. So you do have some choices with that menu. If I decide I want to create a link using text, I can first I'll need the address to the place I want the link to go. So if I want it to go to the MCPS homepage, then I will need to copy that address using Control C and then come back to my text box, highlight the part that I want to become the actual link. And when I highlight that, I will get the menu again that offers me the opportunity to make a link. If I click on that, notice I also have options to link to other pages within my site. So this is something to keep in mind as you improve navigation. You obviously have a navigation menu at the top of every page, but you can also create internal links to other pages within your site. In this case, I'm going to use Control V to paste the address, click Apply, and that's going to make this text into a link. Now we're going to try out that link in just a few moments. I can also insert images, and to do that it's very simple. I can click on images and I have a couple of choices. I can upload an image if I already have one, or I can click select, which offers me several more options. I can choose an image by URL, meaning the web address, and the way that I do that is I find an image I want to use. Here I've been searching pigs because I like pigs, and the way that you find the address to an image is by right-clicking on it and choosing Copy Image Address. If I then come back to this window and use Control V to paste that, I'll get a preview of the image. I can click Select, and that will bring it in to a new section in my site. Notice I have a little menu for each image, so I can crop. I can actually make an image a link if I want. And if I click these three buttons, I can do some other things like add a caption. I could say, "Isn't this pig cute?" Oh dear, can't type and talk. And of course, every pig is cute, so that's kind of a rhetorical question. And so now I have a caption for my image. Also, anytime I'm in the white space of my site or the canvas of my site, I can double click and it will bring up the menu right there on the page. So that can speed me up as I'm building. So I can place a text box here within this section. And since we're just practicing, I'm going to type things that don't really matter. And I can come down to this new section, double click, bring in another image. Let's try bringing in one from Google Drive. If I click on Drive, it's going to obviously bring up my Drive. My folders typically will appear first, or if I'm in list mode, or I can go to grid view, it will still bring up my folders first, but that will give me thumbnails of the pictures. I'm going to choose this one. And well, this is me painting my house all summer. And you can see I look pretty tired there. My goodness. The thing I want to show you here is that you can move around these images and elements really easily within Google Sites. I can drag this, and notice when I see this thick blue line, that means it's going to group this picture with these words. So now that I've grouped them, I can move them and they will come together down to a new section. Notice my text now comes with the picture. I can double click on those and drag them away from each other if I decide that's not what I want to do. But it's kind of a neat thing to be able to group elements together. Another thing I can do to speed up my creation is to use the layout mode. So if I click on any of these patterns over here, it gives me a pre-made section where I can put both images and text, so I don't have to build it from scratch every time. So that's something good to know. You can also bring in buttons and dividers, and these are very easy to use. A button is exactly what it sounds like. I can call the button anything I want. So I could link to an outside source. Let's say I want my students to go to CNN. I could just simply get the address to CNN, copying it using Control C, come back, paste that link. And again, I can use buttons to link to internal pages. That's actually a great use for buttons. Control V brings in my address, and now my button is looking really good, and I can find out if that actually works here if I go to preview mode. So let's take a second and look at preview mode. So once I've built some things into my site and I want to see what that looks like to the end user, I can simply click this preview icon here, and it will bring it up the way that an end user will see it. So I can check out my links. Does it work? Yes. This seems to be opening on a new page. That is awesome. Going back to my site, I can look at my images. How do they look? This doesn't look so great because we're just practicing. My button, does it work? Why, yes, it does. It's coming right up. So again, notice here that I can see this page in several different modes. I can look at what does it look like on a mobile device, like a phone, or, well, I'll scroll this up so you can see. And what does it look like on a tablet? So these are just some ways that you can make sure your site is accessible to everyone. Those are the main ways that you bring in links, images, and text into your website. Next time, we're going to be digging into videos and other Google elements that you can bring into your site. So join me for the next video.